Hello, my name is Amelia, and in this video, we're going to talk about the CFP, the Certified Financial Planner Certification, using the Bonaparte CFP Journey website as our guide. Now, if you want to be the person a client trusts with their entire financial life, then the CFP is how you get there. This website is built as a decision tool to help you honestly weigh whether obtaining the CFP is the right path for you. Now, let's walk through it. So, this is a multi year journey, which is organized around four requirements: education, examination, experience, and ethics. You have to satisfy all four. There are no shortcuts. The typical timeline is if you are currently in a MS program, like the MS in FinTech, for example, then you can knock out the education requirement through coursework and pick up licenses like the SIE, the Series 65 or 66. And then over the first few years in the industry, you can accumulate experience hours and sit for the exam when you're ready. Most people earn the actual CFP mark somewhere around year 3 to 4. And after that, it's really about maintaining and growing it. And so, why do people put themselves through all of this? Well, a big one is client trust. The CFP is the financial planning credential a lot of consumers recognize the most. It also matters because of the income premium, fiduciary standard, and employer preference. All right. So let's move on to education. Before you can even sit for the exam, you complete a registered program covering 8 principal topic areas, like these right here: the financial planning process, investment planning, tax planning, retirement and savings and income planning, estate planning, risk management and insurance, education planning, and psychology of financial planning. Over here, this table shows how the MS courses line up with a lot of the CFP topics. But also remember that you still need to verify with the CFP board which specific courses count. So, and there's also a nice detail for people who've already done heavy credentialing. So, like if you're already if you already have a CPA, a CFA charter holder, an attorney with a JD in financial planning, business, or economics, then you're fully exempt from the education requirement. But the exemption only waives the coursework. You still have to pass the exam, of course, and meet the experience and ethics requirements. So, onto the exam itself. This is the one that people lose sleep over. There are 170 questions that are split across 2 3-hour sessions in a single day with a 40-minute break in the middle. The recent first time pass rate sits around the mid 60s. Something to expect is it's offered 3 times a year: March, July, and November, at pro metric testing centers, and you'll want to register well in advance. On average, the cost is around $925 for standard registration, and watch out for early bird rates and also late rates. Ask your employer if they will reimburse the fee, just because many employers that are in the industry do. What makes the exam hard? Well, it comes down to three things. First is breadth. 8 topics are tested all at once. Second, case complexity. More than half of the exam is built on case studies, where you read 2 to 3 pages about a real situation and then answer a string of questions off that one scenario. And third is judgment. A lot of questions give you four answers that are technically correct, and you just have to pick the one that's the best for that specific client. I mean, it's a judgment test after all. All right, moving on to experience. So there are two paths. There is the standard path, which requires 6,000 hours of qualifying financial planning work. That's about 3 full-time years. The apprenticeship path is 4,000 hours, about 2 years, but with a catch. It has to be under the direct supervision of a CFP professional who verifies your work. And although the apprenticeship saves you a year, good luck finding a mentor, honestly. And so here is a little list of what counts and what doesn't count. For example, building and presenting real financial plans, that counts. But what doesn't count is pure investment management with no planning around it. If obtaining a CFP is something you want to do, start logging the hours from day one of your first qualifying role. Keep a record of clients served, tasks done, hours spent, because the board makes you document and attest to all of it. So, the code of ethics boils down to three ideas: act with integrity, act in the client's best interest, and act with objectivity and fairness, which mostly means disclosing and managing your conflicts of interest rather than hiding them. The fiduciary standard, or the duty to put your client first, applies to all of your financial planning advice, not just when you're managing their investments. So, your tax planning, your estate discussions, your insurance recommendations, your retirement strategy, all of it is held to that best interest standard. A CFP is a fiduciary across the entire financial plan. That promise is a big reason clients trust people who hold this credential. And as you scroll down, you'll see that this table lists 15 specific duties CFPs owe clients that you can read through. You definitely do not have to memorize this. All right, so on to the next tab is the topic deep dive. So this is the actual content areas that the exam tests. I won't march through every single one, but I will show you the flavor because it explains why this is a planning credential and not just an investing one. It opens with the six-step financial planning process. This loop is the backbone of everything a planner does. So from there, it walks through retirement planning, tax planning, estate planning, and actually, here I want to pause. This portion of estate planning reflects older figures. As of 2026, the law changed. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, signed in July 2025, made the higher exemption permanent and set it at $15 million per person. And so the sunset mentioned here was actually repealed. The annual gift exclusion is now $19,000. Moving on. Risk management and insurance and investment planning. So the recurring theme here is integration. Not one of these actually live in isolation from each other. All right, and the next tab is the practice questions. It gives you 35 questions to test yourself on, including a couple of mini case studies that mirror the real exam format. So, so you can go ahead and test your CFP knowledge. So, and the final tab is the CFP career tab, where it maps out the different compensations. It lays out the main paths: the independent RIA, wirehouse, family office, education research. It closes with a question that a lot of finance students actually have, which is, so CFP or CFA? Now, the short version from this site is that the CFP is about comprehensive planning for individuals and families. The CFA is about investment analysis and portfolio management, often for institutions. And Professor Bonaparte's advice down here is to get the CFP first because it makes you better for clients immediately, and add the CFA later if you want to go deeper into investment management. And as he puts it, the CFP changes how clients sees you, and the CFA changes how you see the market. So you want both eyes eventually. That's the CFP journey. This website will help you decide with clearer eyes whether this is the path that you want to go down. So, if you're the kind of person who likes building extensive plans for people and staying sharp as the rules change, this credential might just be for you. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time.